Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Patti Brennan Show. Whether you have $20 or $20 million, this show is for those of you who want to protect, grow, and especially use your assets to live your very best and dignified lives. I'd like to start off today with a story. The story is about something that happened in my own family. As many of you know, I'm one of 7 children, and our father was battling bladder cancer. Towards the end of his life, he lost the ability to take care of himself. And so, by the grace of God, I'm one of 7 kids, and we all pulled together to provide care. I will tell you that I was 8 months pregnant at the time, and what that care required was us laying down in front of him on a mattress. And when he needed help, which was usually at around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, we were there to help him. When it was my night, Dad needed to go to the commode, and he needed to get up for the transfer. I will tell you that being 8 months pregnant, I sort of made my way up and said, Dad, don't worry, we got this. And because of the cancer, he was very weak. So we rocked, and he tried to stand up and he plopped down. Then we tried again, rocked, and he tried to stand up, got a little bit better, and then flopped back down again. On the 3rd flop, Dad looked me in the eyes and said, I am so sorry. And I said, Dad, sorry for what? He said, look at you, you're 8 months pregnant. He said, I am so sorry that you have to be here trying to help your father get to the damn commode. I want you all to know that I looked at him with tears in my eyes, even as I tell you this story. And I said, Dad, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. You paid for me to go to college. You paid for Georgetown. There were 5 of us in college at one time. This is payback time. I wouldn't be anywhere else. And then I realized that while that was true for me, he lost something very important that night, his dignity. He didn't want his 8-month pregnant daughter helping him to get to the commode. And my goal today is to give you 4 pillars so that you would never be in that same position. So thank you so much for listening in. As you do, I want to make one other announcement. We are launching something called the Vitality Hub on the Key Financial website, I should say. Again, as you all know, you're so much more than your money to me. And I feel like as a former nurse, one of the things that we can provide are some of the insights that I'd like to provide to all of you today. There are certain do's and there are certain don'ts. And I want you to understand where the landmines might reside. My goal today is not to create fear. It is to give you options in a way that's easy to understand to help you plan. So with that in mind, let's get started. And by the way, while long-term care sounds quite daunting, this isn't just about long-term care. It's about short-term care. My husband, for example, had foot surgery. I'm embarrassed to admit that even we were not prepared. When I drove him home after the outpatient surgery, I realized, how the heck am I going to get this guy into our house? Because we didn't have a ramp. By the grace of God, 2 of our neighbors were driving by, and these wonderful men helped me get Ed Brennan into our house because I couldn't do it. So what I'm going to do is share some of the do's and don'ts and explain some of the hidden costs that go along with both short-term needs as well as long-term needs so that you are prepared for what could be an inevitable outcome. First and foremost, even with insurance, families can face significant out-of-pocket costs for home modifications, caregiver income loss, something that people don't necessarily think about, transportation costs, and coordination of care. Again, always with dignity. It's always better to be prepared than reactive. So, 4 pillars. Let's first start with pillar number 1 is housing related. Your home is probably your largest asset. So the questions to ask yourself include the following. How close are you to quality care? How close are you to family? Who is in your tribe? Again, I mentioned our dear neighbors. Thankfully, they were on the ready and could help us. Who's available in your world that could help in the event of a need? I've seen way too many families scrambling at the last minute to make housing decisions. The time to evaluate your housing strategy is now, not then, because these things can happen. There are people who specialize in going through your home, giving you advice, where to put the rails, how to modify the bathrooms. It doesn't have to be expensive, by the way. It just has to get done. Pillar number 2, family care economics. This is something that a lot of people don't think about. It's really important. My work at MIT's Age Lab and the research that they have done is that family care typically falls on, probably wouldn't surprise you, the oldest daughter. Think about the implication in her life. For example, the hidden costs are lost wages and career advancement opportunities. If you've got a son or a daughter that is, at the house trying to help you, that may impact their future career. There's transportation costs. There's meal costs. There are care coordination services that they might have to provide. Technology and safety equipment that might be required that is not covered by insurance. It's out of pocket. So a real comprehensive plan just acknowledges all of this and creates funding strategies that will support not only the care recipient, but also family members. Pillar number 3, integrated investment strategy. Most people think that this is either one or the other, a binary solution. Either you self-insure or you go out and buy a big fat insurance policy. I would say that there may be a third option. And I think it's important for all of you to recognize that in this regard, you want to optimize your resources. For example, if care costs $100,000, you want to think about the tax implications. People are often surprised after the fact. You need $130,000, take that distribution to get the $100,000 after taxes. Is that the best, smartest approach? Maybe, maybe not. So a really good coordinated approach is really important as it relates to your investment resources. Pillar number 4 is your risk transfer optimization. And by that, I mean insurance strategies. Full disclosure, Ed and I could probably be at a point where we could self-insure. We've made the choice, again, this is all about choice and dignity, not to do that. We would rather transfer the risk of one or both of us needing care, either at home, assisted living, or in a nursing home. We've transferred that risk to a big fat insurance company because I want them to take care of it instead of it coming out of our children's inheritance. That is a choice that we have made. It may not be the right choice for you. So let's take a look at some of those strategies and optimize them for you and your family. Again, what does this all come down to? It's dignity. Come on, let's face it. There will probably be a point in time where you want or need some help. And I just want to make sure that you're prepared in advance because the options are fantastic these days. And I want you to know that we can serve as a resource to help you and your family through that vulnerable period of time. Again, to be clear, all of this information is going to be on our website under the Vitality Hub in the form of a blog with checklists and do's and don'ts. Okay, so please go there and please share it with your family, share it with your neighbors. That's what this is all about. We don't want to keep this stuff secret. We want to give you choice, options, and preserve your dignity. I am Patti Brennan. Thank you so much for tuning in today and listening to me. I hope you have a wonderful day filled with love in your life and tons of dignity. Take care.